All right, so now we're going to move into balancing honesty and compassion. Now, this can be a little bit of one of those touchy topics. So if you're ready to learn how to balance honesty and compassion in a personal memoir, then let's dive right in. So first things first, writing a personal memoir can be a delicate balancing act. On one hand, you've got you where you want to be authentic and honest, and you want to tell all your truth about your experiences and your journey. But on the other hand, you don't want to hurt some of these people that you care about. You don't want to damage their reputations. So here's a few tips to help you find the right balance. Number one, first and foremost, be honest. Honesty is the foundation of any good memoir. So don't sugarcoat your experiences. Don't try to make yourself look better than you are. Be honest about your struggles, your flaws, and your mistakes. Be honest as a whole. And usually that will be your best route to take. Number two, use compassion. Now, you may think that, this is something that doesn't even need to be told. You would never deliberately hurt someone, but sometimes you could write your truth and it might put a shade on someone else. So make sure as you write, or at least as you edit, that you use that compassionate spirit and you remember that the people in your life are real people, that they have their own feelings, their own emotions and experiences. So use compassion to avoid showing them in a bad light. Avoid sharing anything that could be hurtful or damaging. Now, that doesn't mean you have to turn them into saints, but maybe just leave things out if it doesn't directly relate to your story. Number three, show empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand the feelings of another person and to actually feel for them because of it. So use your empathy to show your readers that you understand that people in your life, they may have had an impact on it, but that was your journey, that was their journey. So what you could do in a case like that is, if say someone abused you, you could say they were in a dark place in their life, they made mistakes. You could tell the truth and not paint them as the forever villain. So show empathy and understanding. Number four, be respectful. Now, just remember to be respectful of everybody in every part of your life, but anything that you put into print, you definitely want to be respectful of the people in your life and their privacy. So avoid sharing things that could be hurtful or damaging, and always ask their permission, especially, if it's something that could be misinterpreted in their mind or in anybody else's. It's always better to ask permission in advance of finishing a memoir. Now, obviously, there have been memoirs where they're tell-all kind of memoirs, and those get juicy, but understand those probably also come with lawsuits. So be careful about that. Be respectful. And then, of course, just use discretion when sharing any personal details about the other people in your life. Ask yourself, is this necessary that I talk about this? If somebody had an eating disorder, did that eating disorder impact me and my story? If it didn't, there's no reason to put that in there about the other person. You just don't need to tell that. Let them tell that in their memoir if they choose to, but that's not your story to tell. Use sensitivity. Number six, be sensitive and show people in your life in a more positive light. Highlight their strengths and their positive qualities. Avoid dwelling on their flaws and the negative qualities. Now, if they had directly impacted you in a negative way, you need to be honest about that. You need to show that they hurt you in some way, but you can always find a way to, again, not paint them as the forever villain. They may have done something wrong. They may have made a bad mistake. They may have had a lapse of judgment. You're not there to judge them. You're there to talk about your story and how they impacted your story directly. Uh, Again, just be cautious and be sensitive. And number 7, we've talked about this before. Obviously, use humor when you can. If it's not a deep topic, maybe someone's a chain smoker and, maybe you want to make a joke about it instead of judging them as being a chain smoker. Use things like that because humor can sometimes, your person, if they're a chain smoker, they'll laugh about that instead of feeling attacked. So humor when you can. Just remember, balancing honesty and compassion is all about finding the right balance between the authenticity and empathy. Uh, it can be tough. It can be tough to find that balance, and you may have to manuscript the full truth as you see it today. And then as you start editing through, remember we talk about how you edit brutally, just cut out the things that don't need to be there. And with that, you will find your balance. It's not that tough, but it can feel a little bit intimidating. We do have a Facebook group. If you ever come in and you have a question, feel free to come in and ask things. Can I say this? And of course, I'm not a law, I'm not an attorney, and I don't pretend to be. If you have a question, we can tell you what we believe and what we think. But just find the balance. But most importantly, as I say, go out there, have some fun, let your creativity soar.